Hi, lovely. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new, welcome back. I'm the Stylish Millennial. Thank you so much for popping by to check out my channel. And in case you can't tell from today's title, we're not just talking about a style rut, we're talking about some other ruts that tend to accompany that. My neighbor's dog is outside right now. She's adorable. I'm a style coach, and what that means is if a personal stylist and a life coach made a baby, it'd kind of be what I do. And I have a lot of clients that they recognize they're dissatisfied with what they're wearing. They don't know really how to dress themselves anymore maybe because they've had like physical changes, and they've already identified the style part, but maybe what they haven't realized that there are some other parts that are also contributing to that style rut. So what I want to talk to you about is how to identify maybe some of these other ruts that you're in and give you a few tips on like how you can break out of them. So let's get started. The first sign that you're in a bit of a rut is you keep saying, I'll do it later, or I'll do it when. If you keep saying, oh, I'll buy that bathing suit when I lose this last 10 pounds. Oh, I'd really like to take that day trip. Oh, but I'll have to do it later. There's so much housework here. I can't. When I get caught up, when things settle down, then I'll do it. You keep saying that so often, and life just keeps going because guess what? There's always going to be housework. There's always going to be dishes. You can take that day trip, be reinvigorated and rejuvenated, come back, and wonder of wonders, that housework is still going to be there. You'll be able to do it. It'll be fine. If you wait until you lose that last 10 pounds, what happens if you gain 5 pounds on top of that 10? Personal experience. Sometimes it happens. If you wait to live your life until, or I'll finally make it happen when, it may never happen. You're going to look back with the hindsight of age and time gone by and say, you know what? I really should have just made time to stop because the housework was still going to be there. The dishes were still going to be able to be loaded in the dishwasher. I wasn't going to get beat up or, fired because I was heavier than I wanted to be and still wore a bathing suit and had a blast with my family or my friends. So if you find yourself saying, oh, I'll do it later, I'll do it when, and you notice that your style is also kind of falling into the, oh, I'll get that together when, oh, I'll when I lose those last 20 pounds, I'll do it. When the time is right, then I'll do it. You're in a rut. Best cure for that is find small ways to go ahead and get that started now. Especially nobody's saying it has to be a week-long trip. You don't have to take a month off and, go to another country. It can be a day trip to a place in your state that you've never been. It can be revisiting a place that you love but you haven't been to in a decade because you've been waiting until. Buy that bathing suit and put it on. That can be triggering. I know that's way easier said than done. But you're missing out on memories and fun with the people that love you just the way you are because you're waiting until it's perfect. Don't do that. Life is messy. It'll never be perfect. Take that imperfect move, put your amazing body in that swimsuit, in those swim trunks. Don't cover up. Go live and experience life. So if you notice you keep saying, I'll do it when, or I'll do that later, when such and such is together, then I'll do it, you're in a rut. Stop saying that. Take action now. Make it happen. Another indicator that you're stuck in a style and life rut is you find yourself complaining, like a lot, not just like every once in a while. Oh, I can never find anything that fits me. All this crap is ugly. I don't like anything here on these racks. My boss is such a pinhead. Oh, another year without a raise. I can't believe this restaurant is taking so long. Can you believe what people are wearing these days? If you find that is the constant source of your conversation or your conversation starters, you're in a rut. Here's why I say that. Because you're putting out negative energy. Negative energy doesn't create positive movement, ever. So you complaining and talking up and kind of reliving this unpleasantness isn't letting you progress. You're what you put out, you get back, and you're getting back these negative experiences, these negative feelings that aren't propelling you forward. They're actually kind of pushing you back a little bit. So the tip to break that when it comes to, oh, I don't have anything to wear, all this crap is ugly. My boss is a pinhead. I can't stand this place, blah blah blah. Focus on the positive. That sounds so cheesy and so cliched, but you would be amazed at what happens when we realign our thinking. So start journaling. Start actively talking up the things you do like and the things you do appreciate. Not only is it going to help shift your perspective, it's going to shift your talk, which is always a good thing because you're not only talking to other people, you're saying this stuff to yourself before it reaches other people. You're creating a positive environment for more things to be in your way that are good and help you appreciate it even more. If you find yourself complaining a lot, start journaling and start talking about things that you do appreciate and the things you do love. Another way to identify that you might find yourself in a bit of a rut is you don't feed your brain. And I don't mean like you're not eating walnuts. If you don't have a nut allergy, though, you should totally eat walnuts. They're very good for you. But I mean, you don't look and seek out intellectual stimulation. When your mood's just kind of low and you're stuck, it's really hard to get motivated to look for new books that'll teach you new things, that will inspire conversations about topics you've typically avoided, to find classes on something that you've always been curious about but never picked up on. That's hard to do when you're in a rut because you're just so unmotivated. That's the best time, and that's when it's most needed. That learning that new topic, even if it's not something that you're particularly interested in, maybe something, it gets that hamster wheel spinning again. You're like, oh, well, I didn't particularly care for that. But while I was daydreaming trying to tune that guy out, I did actually start thinking about blah, blah, blah. That's going to get you thinking about, oh, okay, well, I wonder if there's a YouTube video on that. Let me check out my Audible collection and see if I've saved a book like that already on that topic. It's going to inspire you to look for those new things. So if you find yourself in a rut, you haven't really added anything new to your vocabulary, your repertoire, you've not learned a new skill or learned about anything new in the last 2 to 3 months, I can guarantee you're in a rut, and your style is also falling into that rut. Because when we're not feeding our brain, we're not intellectually stimulated, it's hard to get excited about wanting to put together new outfits. The last thing you want to do is go in your closet, go through hanger after hanger, try on the pieces and stuff and say, oh, well, will this even work? I'm just already fried thinking about it. Not interested. That's when you need it most. So when you find yourself in that way, take the time to learn something new. Skillshare is great. Audiobooks. Sign up for Audible as well as other like podcasts on something that you're just randomly curious about. Masterclass. I think they have a class pass where you can learn from the greats in their field. They've got one by RuPaul. I still haven't signed up for that one yet. That's on my to-do list though for Christmas. But something that even if you fall down this rabbit hole and you're just like, yeah, didn't work out the way I thought it would. I didn't really care about learning that new thing. But now I'm interested to learn something else that's going to help break you out of your rut. The next thing you may realize when you start looking around, and the next thing you notice when looking around to decide if you're in a rut, the next thing you may notice is you feel uninspired. And this is when hobbies really come into play. It may not be something you actively keep up with all the time, but it's something that excites you, something that you're really amped up about. And I know so many of us are like, I'm busy, I run a business, I work with a lot of coaches and consultants. They're like, look, if it's not making me money, I'm normally just trying to rest. I don't have time for a hobby. That's not true. That's not true. You have time. Everyone needs an outlet. If what you do, especially if you're a coach or a consultant, if you're, a, a pilot, you're a commercial airline pilot, you're an air traffic controller, I don't know. There are so many things that take a lot of mental focus that we can do them or do them well, but they don't actually light us up and excite us. You need that outlet. You need something that actually makes you happy, that makes you content, that says, I'm terrible at this thing, but I can't wait to try it again and get better at it. If you say, I don't have time, I want you to think about how much time you spend scrolling on social media. It is so easy for time to get away from you when you're just mindlessly scrolling, checking updates and what have you. You've got time. And I'm not even saying that's bad. I'm just saying be aware of where your time is going and then reallocate it to something that's going to excite you. If it's a musical instrument you used to play when you were younger and you've kind of fallen out of it, see if there's like an online tutor that can help you pick it back up. If you used to paint, do it. Find a hobby, find something, even if you're terrible at it, but you really enjoy it. Keep doing it. And here's the thing. Put it on your schedule. You write it down, save it to your phone's calendar, I don't care. When you put it on your schedule, you're telling your mind, this is now a non-negotiable, this is happening. So if it's something you do once a day, or you do it at the end of the week, whatever, to just kind of be a decompression spot for you, find what it is, make sure it excites you, put it on the calendar. And the last thing you may realize when you discover you're in a rut is you're not spending time with people that encourage your personal growth. I find, I'm going to go ahead and give you a little hot take of mine here. There's no such thing as stagnation. Stagnation, unless it's a pond, stagnation is not a thing. For people, you don't stagnate. You either progress or you regress. You're moving forward or you're moving backward. That's it. So saying, I'm stagnant, I'm stuck in a rut, you're actually starting that slide backwards, which is not great. And you can really notice that when you notice the people around you aren't discussing new ideas or, hey, I read this interesting story. Hey, I watched this documentary about blah, blah, blah. If these aren't new things that they're bringing up, new topics, talking about what they've learned, if they're not asking you, hey, what have you tried this new lately? What are you into? What are you doing? If they're not asking you about your goals and asking you how you're getting close to achieving those goals, they're not helping you grow. I am not telling you to ditch your tried and true friends, not doing it. But I am saying, look to add more people to your circle and your group that are going to, ask you, hey, is there something I can do? Is there some way I can pray for you in this thing? Because it sounds like that course is just eating your lunch. Is there, do you have a practicum you have to do? Maybe I can put you in contact with somebody. Where are you at on your goals list? Have you even created any goals? Why not? If you don't have people like that around you, we need to get you some. You can do that by joining online, non-toxic online groups. I've met some really amazing people the last year and a half through some online groups. If there's a group you know of in your area, you've got a little local gazette or a paper that lists the local happenings and it's safe or you guys can socially distance and you're of a like mindset, go check them out. Meetup is a really good app. They always have things for different groups for people to either meet virtually through Zoom or meet socially distance in public gatherings. And the great thing is you can look at the descriptions and say, yes, they're for me. No, they're not. Oh, this is an entrepreneurs group. This is a networking group or a public speaking group for coaches and consultants that are, planning to get more visible. That's something that's not really comfortable for me. but it's something I'm interested in to grow and stretch as a person. You don't even have to like spend a bunch of time talking to the people. You can literally read the description and say, yes, no, maybe so. And then go and start meeting these people so you can all encourage each other in your growth and cheer each other on in your journey. So those are some things I notice when my clients that are stuck in a style rut, they're also stuck in some of these other areas of their life. So I don't see a lot of people talking about that. That's a shame. We need to, because it's out there. It's a very real thing. Yeah, so those are my thoughts. Now it's your turn. Feel free to tell me what you think. If I was wrong, if I was right, if you've got a different take, leave me a comment. Let me know. If you're so inclined, feel free to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys back next week. Bye.